Hello everyone, welcome to GED. Today we've got some Wienerschnitzel deluxe dogs and a chili burger, and we're talking about ADHD class selection. So guys, I don't go to Wienerschnitzel very often, but they're kind of like a cult classic, cult hit. I mean, a lot of people love them. These are pretty impressive. They don't look bad for a fast food dog. I mean, got some mustard, tomato, pickle, onions. Let's get a close-up and get into one of these deluxe dogs. They did have Chicago dogs and junkyard dogs, but I just went the standard deluxe. We'll test it out. Not bad, again, not bad for a fast food dog. I mean, it's got all the makings of a fair dog, or kind of like a event dog, like a ballpark dog. All the ingredients are trying to escape. These weren't a bad price either. I mean, like, $2 for a dog. That's about kinda maybe what you would get if you built it yourself. Maybe a little bit cheaper. Wienerschnitzel does also carry Polish dogs, but I went standard. Across the table here, I do have some water. So let's talk about ADHD class selection. Because, man, this happens to everybody. Everybody, no matter what game you're playing, no matter what you're doing. Even in the real world, role-playing with friends. You find a class you really, really like, and you play it, and for example, I'm playing WoW right now, right? So, I'm playing my Death Knight, I really, really love my Death Knight. But then, oh, I see the druids, I see the boomies, and the amazing healers, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should undo and forget everything I've been doing on my Death Knight, and go try a druid. Or you're playing League of Legends, and let's say you're an Annie player, and you play Annie for a year. And then you're like, oh, but what about Fizz? I could play Fizz, or, you know, etc., etc. It just goes on and on. In first-person shooters, you kind of lean towards a certain rifle, like an M4 in Counter-Strike, and then eventually you're like, no, maybe I don't like the M4. I want to go to something else and learn the AK better, or... It's the human ADHD aspect of gaming that you just... The grass is always greener on the other side of the class, so to speak, or the item. And, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Has it happened to you? I'm sure it has. Let's see if we can check out this chili burger. There's some chili, cheese. Looks okay. A standard, typical burger. Chili's coming out the back. Ooh, the chili is super salty. But it tastes alright. Now, which is better? Do you like your one class or your two class? It's hard to say. They're both good, they're both viable. But, you know, you ADHD and you don't know which one you want to play. does Wienerschnitzel make you super hungry? Because I know that when I see their chili dogs, etc., it just looks pretty dang good. The advertising, at least. Ooh, super salty. We need some water after that. So, one of the biggest drawbacks about this ADHD class or item or character selection is that you don't want to lose your progress. You don't want to lose your skill level. Like, for example, again, going back to League of Legends, if you're a master Annie player and you're top tier, diamond maybe, and you don't want to fail on another character, you don't want to just give up on your main. If you're playing WoW, if you're playing a MMO and you're playing a certain class they've poured maybe hundreds of hours into to get to max level and max gear score and max whatever, doesn't really matter. You don't want to just throw that all down the tubes. But at the same time, you don't want to remain stagnant in what you're doing. It's a problem. It's the ADHD syndrome of gaming. And like I said, it affects everybody. Check out that mustard. No ketchup, no mayo, just a standard mustard deluxe dog. It really is truly one of the banes of gamers' existence is to class switch constantly. But we don't have that problem in simple games like first-person shooters that only have a set amount of hours of gameplay. And there's a police car somewhere outside. But, you know, games with a set rail system, with a set progression that ends after 40 or 60 hours, we don't really have problems in those ones. I'm talking about the long-term games, the games we play for hours upon hours, days upon days. Those are the games that'll get you, in the end, with the class ADHD syndrome. And I don't use that term negatively. It's just the fact that, you know, we can't keep our attention on one thing as gamers, as humans, for an extended amount of time. Certain people can, but kudos to them. Ooh, that dill pickle is kind of strong. Those are the people that can play 10 years of a game in the same class, in the same role, and come out on top. They're quite a few in far in between, because I know that all of my friends have switched classes at one point in time, or characters, or items, or whatever they do. It's just the fact of life. Guys, remember to game, eat, and discuss. I'll finish this little bite of dog, and catch you next time.